everybody know Excel in the sense that that should be the basic of anybody that is going into data analytics, you get. So that being known, it won't be that difficult for you to get along with Power BI, because Power BI is more like not really an advanced Excel, because both of them are Microsoft platforms. Do you understand? So we're going to be using Power BI for our data visualization and business intelligence analytics. Then for data exploration, we are going to be using, what's it called, my SQL workbench. So because of this class, I think I would start. I won't keep waiting for people. I don't know whether it's because the class is free, so people are not taking it serious, and it's not really encouraging. The last cohort we had the first time we had up to 30 something students that were in class before even the 10 o'clock. So these cohorts, from this I'm getting, is not really encouraging at all at all. So I can't still keep waiting. We've waited for up to 30 minutes, so we're going to start up immediately. My name is Ujunwa Edum, my surname. I believe it will be showing on your screen. So I work as a data analyst in an organization. Then I'm volunteering for sourcing business for this free training to sensitize people on data analytics skills. Then I'm also a trainer with, what's it called? Cover IT World. So all these, I'm just telling you a bit of my profile, a little bit of my profile. So we are going to be starting immediately. Welcome once again to class. So since both of you, because I've asked Mr. Bamidele, he's not also a newbie, like a beginner in data. So I would start by should I start by introducing data? So if I would prefer to start from introducing what data is, assuming that you people are all new, are beginners. Because why I would want to start from there is because it will add to the knowledge you already have. So it will be an additional knowledge for you people that are already into data analytics. And it would be, as in, for like, I'm using one stone to kill two birds, kind of. Mr. Joseph, mute your mic, off your video. Mr. Blessing, mute your mic. Thank you. Yeah. So I believe all of us know what data is all about. It's not really a new thing for any of us at all. So I would like introduce what data is all about, then an overview of what data analytics and what you can achieve with data analytics. I'll just introduce an overview of it, then I would share my screen for Power BI class. I won't really go into practical, being that most of us here, or rather you people, I didn't really talk about the platforms that we're going to be using. So for this class, I would advise, or it is necessary for you to download. I'll still post it on the group chat. We are going to be using Microsoft Power BI desktop for our data visualization and business intelligence analysis. Then using my SQL workbench. So I would advise you download these two platforms. So because there was no information, like pre-information about that, I would not go into practical proper. So what we're going to be doing today is more like introduction and what should I call it? Theoretical aspect of it, just like an overview. No, so from next class, we will enter into practical proper. How I train my students, and from the last cohort, I prefer if I'm doing, you are doing. Do you understand? So because from my personal experience, and being that I've been a trainer for a long time, not really quite a long time, I've trained many students. I believe that this kind of skill is not something you would gain by just jotting down some points and assuming that you're understanding. It's more like you're going to learn how to type. Maybe after secondary school, you go to computer school to learn how to type without having a laptop. If you get a laptop like next how many years to come, you will notice that it's as though you just wasted your time going to learn how to type. This is just a real life scenario. So you practicing as I'm doing would help you. And at the end of each package or each skill, a project would be given. So I will share a data set that everyone will work with. It depending on how responsive the class is, I would know whether to share a group. The last cohort, there were many that like they were up to active. I mean purely active people were up to. I remember we had six classes, six groups. I shared them into six groups. So six groups, each group have 10, at least 10 students. So 6 times 10 is 60. So active students were up to 60. Do you understand? So it was really encouraging. I shared a group, all of them worked together to develop a report, like a project. So I don't know if this class is not that active as the other one, because I'm going to be using last one as a yardstick, being that it was the first and this one is the second cohort. If it's not that active as the other one is, like now I have only 3 people in class out of how many people that reached out for this class. So I will do the project per head. Like I'll share data, different data to 3 of you or any of let me assume people are still going to log in. So I won't really make the decision whether it will be group or personal for now, depending. So back to what I was saying, today would be more of an introduction and theoretical aspect of what we are going to be doing in practical. So from next week, we will enter into practical proper. And I believe that for next week, we must have downloaded Microsoft Power BI. You can note it, but I'll still post it on the group chat. Microsoft Power BI desktop and my SQL workbench. So after the data visualization and business intelligence section, we'll enter into data exploration section and projects will be given. So without wasting much of our time, let's go into the class. Mr. Joseph, welcome to class. So data, I won't really say or rather define that data is this and this and this, being that in this kind of field we nobody really is interested about your definition. What we are into is what can you give, the practical and the understanding. So I would be doing more of an explanation or trying to use real life scenario to expound my point. So data is kind of a source of information which each and every one of us know about, but I won't go into defining it. I would say that from my work as a data analyst and from the training I've been organizing, I would say that data is whatever you can, is like the real life, is like the real earth. So whatever you can see, whatever you can hear, whatever you can visualize could be called data. So you are free to define it the way you want to define. So anything that is on this planet Earth is data. Yes, I mean it. Anything that is on this planet or anything on this world is data. Just like we're in this class, I can ask 3 of you, just give me the top 10 costly things that are in your room. Everybody would write table, TV, this. What am I doing? I'm collecting data. I know this scenario is not new to any of you. So I would say that data is any information that is tied to an entity. You can't just collect random data without having a relationship or relating it to an entity. Just like the scenario I used now, asking you people to collect data from your room. Each data that anybody is collecting is going to be linked to the person. Do you understand? So that's what makes it a data, or that's what makes it to be a sensible or a reasonable data. So data is just any piece of information with an entity. I've explained that. And another point I want us to know is that data is not only figures as generally known, like figures that you see on Excel, say figures that you collect, numerical or measurable figures, or something like that. So data is as in, apart from being a figure or being a number, a sound could be a data. Even your text message is a data. Even the chats you post on your social media is data. Do you understand? So that's why I said that data is just the real world or earth, anyhow you want to put it. Data is meaningful only when it's being interpreted. So if you collect random data, it won't really make sense till when it's being interpreted, when it is being cleaned up, and what have you. So there are many processes that data, a real life data, undergoes. But before I go into this process, I would like to talk about two different types of data. So having known that data is not only numbers or numerical characters, that pictures can be data, text messages can be data. So technologically, we've gotten data science have gotten to a point of even analyzing social media comments. We call it natural language, NLP, natural language processing analytics. So you can even call it text analytics. So, and we can analyze visuals like pictures. We use computer vision analytics to analyze that one. So anything can be analyzed, be it numbers, be it pictures, be it text, be it anything can be analyzed. It's just that they have um their own methods of being analyzed on, or something like that. You can't use Excel to analyze pictures or images. So if you want to go to that one is into data science, you go into computer vision. If you want to analyze text, you go into text analysis, sentimental analytics, or natural language processing. So there are two major types of data. Generally, there are two major types of data. There is qualitative, there is quantitative. Sorry, I don't know if I'm fast, but I believe this is just like an introduction to, at least we can't be talking about data science without knowing or understanding what data analytics is all about. Let's say you want to say something, you are raising up your hand.
Yes, you talked about text
Analytics.
visualization. Analytics, sorry, is NVivo an example of a text visualization text analysis application?
And Vivo.
NVivo, yes.
I've not heard about that, but sentimental analytics, that one is, we use more of Python, neural networking, this thing. So
Oh,
that's what we use in
okay,
that.
okay,
You know,
okay. No
technology
problem.
is still advanced, so many things are still coming up.
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
I
yes.
won't plainly say that it is right, it is or it is not. So I don't know. I don't know about this one you mentioned.
Okay, no, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So back to what I was saying, there is qualitative, there are quantitative. So as name implies, qualitative is talking about quality, quantitative is talking about quantity. So inside qualitative data analytics, there are two kinds. There is nominal and there is ordinal. How I used to differentiate between both of them is, I don't know how to cram. Even as a student, when I was a student, I don't know how to cram. So I use the words to derive the meaning. Ordinal is talking about ordered qualitative data. So anyone that is not ordinal should be nominal. That's how I understood it. So I would say that nominal, they are not ordered, they are qualitative. Take the note, they are qualitative data, data that is not ordered, just like gender. Gender is quality, it is not ordered. Or maybe complexion. Maybe you collected data about complexion of people. They are nominal. It is not ordered. You can't say that dark should come first before I've been I'm sorry, I don't want to say, or fair complexion or dark complexion. So you can't really order it. So that's why it's nominal, like gender, um data, complexion data, even marital status. You can't say that single should come before divorced or marriage. Do you understand? So, but when you come to nominal, nominal is just the kind of qualitative data that is ordered. Take use the word order now. They are the ones that are ordered. Just like you, maybe you collected data on students' performance. Maybe you're using good, average, and bad. Looking at it, good should come first, average should come second, then bad should come last. So it's kind of ordered. I don't know if you are getting the gist. So which other example can I use for ordinal? Let me say height. Maybe short, shorter, shortest, kind of. Even with the names, if you know that short, just like it's hierarchy, kind of. So let me go to qualitative because this is not really the major thing. It's just to water the ground and make the foundation to be solid before we go into the practical aspect. Then we have quantitative data, just like the name implies, quantity. It's the numerical aspect of data that are numerical in nature. So inside it, we have discrete, we have continuous. This discrete, they are like quantitative data that are finite. Just like you saying that you want to collect the data on number of students in this class. You can't collect number that students in this class they are 5.6 or 5.5 students. No, they are district. It's as in it is a whole number. The number you are collecting would be a whole number. Then continuous, they are non-whole number, they are infinite. Look, another example for an example for continuous is like when you're collecting data based on weight of people. Someone's weight could be 70.5, 60 point something. So do you understand? So there is space for it's like an open-ended question. Do you understand? So it is infinite. Why discrete is finite? Or you can use these two words. Discrete is like whole number, while continuous is float or decimal. So now we are coming into data analytics proper. What do you think that data analytics is? Can someone just give me a little understanding of what he or she understands to be data, or what data analytics or data analysis is, either by definition or by explanation? I asked a question. Okay. Mr. Blessing, go on.
Well, to my own finite understanding, I
Mm.
would say that data analysis is the procedures or the principles and procedure that is employed to bring out meaningful explanation on information that you have collected. Try to make meaning out of the scattered or information that you have collected over time or from a group of people.
Okay.
That's my rough explanation.
Yeah, you're correct. Thank you. Is there any other person that wants to add something to me?
Yeah, I would like to say data analysis is a process of um, taking insights or spotting trends in data. You are checking the data to see what you can derive from it and to make recommendations from the data.
Thank you. Both of you have said well, I've said it all. But I would add something, not necessarily add something, but let me bring it to this level. I would say that data analysis is just like a process of examining data sets, just like both of you said, in order to find trends and draw conclusion. and draw conclusion about the information they contain. So I would say that being that is a process, that means it's not really, you can't say that this particular thing is the main data analysis. Do you understand? So I would say that from the point you even think about going out to collect your data, because there will be data collection. From the point you go out to collect your data, then you've collected your data, you have to clean up the data. Indirectly, I'm already telling you people some processes of data analysis. You have to clean up the data. Naturally, raw data is always dirty. I'll still come to that point of explaining what I mean by dirty data and what I mean by cleaning up your data. So raw data is naturally dirty. So when you finish cleaning it up, you must. I started saying that you start from when you think of going to collect your data, and now I'm going back a little bit. Before you go to collect your data, like paper, I'm going to be using more scenario. My most of my illustration and the scenarios will be more like people that are working in an organization. Do you understand? So Mr. Blessing, just you can a little bit taking permission because you are into academic section. I'm not really into that, so I can't really make more illustration from that your aspect. So I'm going to be using paper as for me now, I work as a data analyst in an organization. So I'm going to be using more of my illustration as in scenarios to drive home my point. I just hope you bear with me.
There's no
So
problem.
you work. Okay. So going to what I was saying, you have the point you start thinking about analyzing your data. Before you go into the analyzing your data, there will be a stakeholders meeting. That's where the objective of the data analysis would be discussed. So you have to know the objective of the data analysis. Because if you don't know the objective, you will just be hovering around without having a direction. Is it called a scalar quantity or a vector? No, scalar does not have direction, then vector. At least I still remember my physics a little bit. So you just be hovering around without a direction. But if you have an objective, just like it's said that when a purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. It's the same thing with data analysis. If you don't know the objective of your stakeholders, because what you are doing is that to meet the need of your stakeholders, to meet the need of your management, the management of the organization. So you have to know the objective. Whether the from the objective now, you being a data professional, you now know the kind of data analytics that is needed. You can't go and be doing descriptive analytics when what they want is predictive analytics. You can't go and be doing predictive analysis when what they want is only descriptive analysis. Do you understand? So you have to know the objective. From the point you know the objective, is with the objective you go into the field, either is a primary data or a secondary data. You now know the type of data you need for your data analytics. When you collect your data, you clean it up. When you clean it up, then you do the particular data analysis that is being needed. Then when you finish doing the data analysis, it didn't end there. You have to report it back to the stakeholders. Now, the people you are reporting it, they are not data professional. You get? So you're going to put it in a way that even a layman would be able to understand it. That is data reporting. So most times we use data visualization for our data reporting, being that even a layman would be able to understand that, okay, this one is bigger than this one with the bars and with the charts and graphs that you'll be presenting the data with. You understand? So when you've reported, I've mentioned some processes now. Data reporting. After you've reported your data, then the stakeholders or the management will make decision out of it. So your data analysis starts from when you start the data collection, or when you even know the objective of the data analytics, to when the decision, even the action from the decision, is being taken. I don't know if you got my point. So it's all these things are the processes. They are the process of you examining your data to get trends and conclusions or what have you about the information they contain, to enhance or to help the management to make a data-driven decision. When you are making the decision based on data, there is a level of certainty. There is a level of probability you have that this is for sure, because your performance metrics, you must have you've checked it to check the accuracy of the data you've analyzed. It's different from you making decision randomly, or maybe my spirit say that I should do this. But when you're making decision based on data, there is a level of certainty you'd have. I don't know if I'm really making sense, or is there, am I even confusing some people? Am I making sense, or am I confusing you people?
Now make it continue.
Okay.
Yeah, fine, ma'am.
Okay. So now, from what I've explained, you realize I didn't make any definition in quotes, but I believe my explanation with that you will be able to extract your own definition. So that's how my class go. I won't really be saying this one is defined as, I'm a graduate of statistics, as I said before. So I didn't grow up knowing all these defined advantages, disadvantages. We don't know it. We don't really do with it. What they know is know the formula, prove the formula, and be able to interpret the analysis you've done. Shikina. So there's some careers that are into this data analytics. Though we are in a country where I believe all of us are Nigerians. So we are in a country where data professional nomenclatures are kind of confusing. So I remember when I was job hunting, um, I would see a job opening that is having data scientists, but the JD, that's the job description, will be only that of data analyst and analyst role. So far data come enter it's assumed that you suppose know everything. Sorry, I'm using pitching. I don't even know how to speak it very well. Don't mind me. So there is there is data analyst, which every one of us know. What do data analysts do? A data analyst is just from collect data, clean up data, and just know the trends and the relationship between the columns and features. So a data analyst can only do more of a data can only do data description or even find trend. Then what is a data scientist role? Data scientist is more like an advanced data analyst. So if you are even a data analyst, there is need for you to advance to a data scientist. So data scientist finds prediction, as in predicts, build models and predict for the future. Do you understand? So when a data analyst must have finished doing his own, a data scientist builds model. Then what do we use? Because I have a very good knowledge about data scientists. Though I'm not really working with as a data scientist, I'm working as a data analyst, but I've been upskilling myself to that data scientist and machine learning level. So what do we do? Or I would say I can include myself. So a data scientist builds model that would help in future prediction. So it's just like saying that y is equal to 6b plus which mathematical this try y is equal to 6x plus 10. That could be a model, and you build it from several multiples of features, multiples of columns, and multiples of rows. That's how you will come to that kind of model. I'm using an illustration, just something like everyone will understand. So in future, should it be, maybe in future you want your y, you want to know what you would do so that your y, let me say y is profit, you want to know what you would do so that your profit would be 10,000. I'm using an example. So you want your y to be 10,000, and you already have a model, or rather a formula that said that y is equal to 6x plus 10. With you knowing that you want your y to be 10,000, it won't really be difficult for you. You just do your mathematics, right? Make x the subject of the formula and find what your x will be. So that your x will be your input. That's how most companies derive their annual missions and visions. You see a company say that their vision, their 2020 vision is to make profit of so amount. And for us to make this profit as our vision, these are our mission. That means we have to make sales of so amount. We have to make investment of so amount. Now sales and investment are their input, those input that you will put to for you to make so profit. So there is a data this thing there is a data data model that we use for this kind of scenario I use, we can use regression analysis to do it. Do you understand? So let me not really go far. Let me come back to where we are. Data analysts build model. Just know that data analysts build, that are the people that build model and for future prediction. Do you understand? So data, there is another one. Which one am I forgetting? There is database administrator. Database administrator is the person that manages database management system. So it depends on the one you find yourself using. There is not relational database system, there is relational database system. That's why we included data exploration on the scope of what we are going to be learning. So my SQL workbench that I said that you people need to download is a relational database management system. So you will gain a level of skill from there. There's another one we call machine learning engineer. A machine learning engineer is a little bit or almost the same thing with a data scientist. If you are a data scientist, you are automatically a machine learning engineer because you build your model with those model you are building, you build it with machine learning algorithms. You understand? You build it with machine learning algorithms. So you are using like output, an output of a machine learning engineer is an input. Am I correct? Yes, an output of a machine learning engineer is an input for a data scientist. So definitely, if you are learning data science, you are learning machine learning. When data engineer, there is another one called data engineer. Data engineer, they more of build data pipelines. Maybe the organization, they have different data sources that they extract their data from. So a data engineer build those data pipeline and connect it to where it's supposed to be going. Do you understand? I'm not really a data engineer, so I don't really have much to say about that. And financial analyst, that one is financial aspect of data analysis. Which one again? And there is business analysis. Yeah, business analyst. Yes, in this country, many organizations put that business analyst role. You say business analyst role carrying a data analyst job description. So I would like to say something here. A business analyst is almost the same thing with a project manager. A business analyst, they stand as a mediator between the stakeholder and the software engineers and all these people that are building whatever need that the stakeholder needs. So that's what the business analyst, they do like stakeholder analysis, they do requirement analysis. So that's what they do. Then business intelligence, they use data visualization or business intelligence platform to make insight and build insight from business data. That being known, these are the few that I can remember. Some skills that are needed in this data analytics: you need a data visualization skill, which is what we are going to be learning with Power BI. You need database management skill, which is what we are going to be learning with my SQL workbench, because there are some many organizations, they store their data in database. So if you don't have a skill of database, you will not even be able to get hold on the data you want to work with. So you have to have that data exploration skill, how to extract data from database. Then there is machine learning skill. I've explained about that. There is data cleaning. This data cleaning is the core of data analysis. If you don't know how to clean your data, you will always be having an erroneous data analysis. It's just like you running with well, I say, let me use gold. I've not really seen a raw gold, but I used to hear that raw gold used to, if you see raw gold, you won't really like to behold it, but it go through processes for it to come out sparkling as gold. Do you understand? So you need to clean up data. I used to tell people that data cleaning takes like 60% of your data analysis, because when you've cleaned your data, you will be able to have a good and presentable data that you run your analysis with. Data collection, data mining, and data extraction. Data collection. We are in digital world now, so most people don't really go into the environment to get data. The people that still go to into the field raw, as in physically into the field, are people that are into academic sector. They want to go into the field, collect their data by themselves. But if you're working with an organization where in digital world, they most people use Google Form. Google Form is a data collection platform. There is Kobo Collect. There are other digital or technical methods that you use for collecting data. You know, someone is raising hand. Lesson, go on.
Yeah, like what you said, yes, we, the academics, we go to the field to collect. Now, when it comes to data cleaning, from what I've learned, there is something we call biasness of the researcher or the analyst. Don't you think because you said 60% of data analysis, their work, if they can do, 60% of the work has to do with data cleaning. Don't you think if you clean data to an extent, you will be introduced some level of bias because the organization has given you a set objective or a set goals, which the board have already sat down for. Now, for you to meet that their goal, don't you think if your data is not, if your the outlook of your data, because there's what they call this face value, although when you are using small amount of data, I don't think the outlook of your data and the way you have cleaned your data may be setting some level of bias so that you should be able to suit what that organization is requesting from you as a data analyst. It's just a question.
Okay, if I actually understood what you say, yes, in statistics, we know that error is inevitable. So what we do in data analysis or what we do in statistics is to reduce the error. You understand? I think it's not true, it's not totally possible for you to avoid error. Just for you to reduce, there should be unbiasedness in your data. Yes, I know we don't work with biased data. If actually I got your points, I don't know if I even answered your
Yes,
question.
yes, yes, yes. You got it. Because we frown as statistician and as researchers, we try to be very very objective in what we do, and there's a level of data cleaning you will do that it will start introducing high level of biasness
Yeah, I got your point.
into your data. That is what I'm saying. I said sometimes we don't really pay much, we don't really put much attention into, not that we don't do clean data cleaning, but the extent to which you now start, because data cleaning has to do with, to an extent, modification of your information to suit what you really want. I don't know if I'm right.
I know you are talking about
Yes.
academics. I think we'll be having a little bit wahala with academics and professional, or should I call it professional or organizational side. Um, when I explain what I mean by data cleaning, I think that would throw more light on what you're trying to say. But let's be going. Then some soft skills that you need. You have to have this problem solving skill. It's a skill on its own. You should always be eager to find solution to problems. If you are the kind of person that I beg, so far I can see my way to pass, you might not really do well in data analytics professional. You should have that eagerness to solve problem. Another one is analytical thinking. Do you brainstorm? How was your level of brainstorming like? Do you think critically? Presentation skill. When you've run this analysis, you should be able to present it. You know, some people, they know what they want to say in their mind, but they cannot express themselves, kind of. So you have to have that presentation skill, know how to present what you've worked, because it's that your presentation that your stakeholders are holding on. They don't know what you have in mind. They didn't run the analysis with you. They didn't go into the field with you. So you should be able to present your skill. That's why in university, before you graduate, even when you finish your project, they will tell you defend your project. That defending, you have to present it. You have to present it, to answer the right questions, to explain things to people that are looking at you, to explain things to your stakeholders. So they will be sure that what you've done is meeting to their objectives. Good writing and communication skill, and you have to be meticulous. You have to pay attention to details. Know when there is deviation in trend, as in you just have to be meticulous and pay attention to details. Then there are four, it's like, yeah, there are four major types of data analytics. There is descriptive analytics, there is diagnostic analytics, there is predictive analytics, and there is prescriptive analytics. I heard is now up to five, but these are the four that I know and I work with. So what do I mean by descriptive analysis? This descriptive analytics is just like you knowing, it answers the question of what happens, what's happening in this data. You are getting insight from what is actually happening with the data you are seeing. Like you maybe from the data you are seeing that many people maybe are working with sales data. From descriptive analytics, you'll be able to observe that more male gender buy this product than female gender. More married people buy this product more than the singles. People used to buy this thing more on Monday than during work days or normal weekdays than weekend. So these are the kind of insight that you can be getting from your descriptive analysis. Like you are getting the direct insight of what is happening, what happened, what actually is happening in the data. Then for diagnostic analytics, just like the name implies, it's just you getting the causal effect, as in what led to this which English should I use? What's the causal effect, as in what led to this thing we are seeing, what led to the deficiency, or what led, even if it's not deficiency, what led to the I'm lacking English to use. Just like maybe for the example I use
Maybe
now.
cognitive fidget or something.
Like the example I use now, people are buying these products on work days than weekend. So the causal effect could be from other analysis, from other insights, you are getting the causal effects. Okay, people are buying this product during the weekdays, maybe because they are at the office, but weekends they are at home. As in you are getting the insight, from your insight, you're getting the causal, like what led to this. With that, they maybe the marketers of the organization can come up with a promo. If you buy it during the work days, you are getting a discount of so amount, just to increase the sales during other days than weekend. They can come with, like Jumia now, they can come with, okay, order online, we will bring it to your office. All these things are because you have seen, okay, this is why this is happening. With diagnostic analysis, you will now make your prescription. Prescription is now you finding solution, prescribing, this is what to do this. I don't know if you are getting there. These four types, they are a little bit interwoven, like they work together to achieve data analytics. Then predictive, as the name implies, you are predicting. If you want to predict, you have to build a model. You can't predict without building a model. You have to build a model that will help you to predict, and that's where data science comes in place. I think I've explained the four of them. What else should I talk about before I go into Power BI? What have I not talked about? Oh shit. Okay, before I go into that, let me say this last one before we go into Power BI. Oluwaseun, you're raising your hand.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, please, I need the fourth type of the analytics, data analytics. You
Let me
talked
repeat.
about descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and then I didn't get the last one.
Prescriptive, like you are prescribing
Okay,
drugs.
prescriptive. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no other question. Let me say the last one. though I've talked about it when I was explaining data analysis processes, but let me repeat it. They are like, let me call it data analytics processes. You understand the problem for people that didn't capture when I said it, because it's very important. Even even if you are in data, any data professional you are in, these steps are very important. You have to understand the problem, ask the right question to your stakeholders, because there's where you gather points and objective of your stakeholder. This meeting is very important. This meeting with stakeholders is very important, or with the management is very important, because that's where you have a direction of where you are going to. So during the meeting, ask the right question. Ask, okay, when do you people need this data analysis to be, any data analysis should be time framed, because if it's not time framed, you will do the analysis even maybe for 1 year, you are still collecting your data. So it should be time framed, you should be specific. What exactly do they want? It shouldn't be ambiguous, it should be specific. This is what we want, so you have a focused direction. Data collection, you know the type of data you are collecting. Let me say, for where I'm working, if I work where I work as a data analyst and a little bit of a data management, data manager, data administrator, database administrator. So if I don't know the data I'm collecting, if I go to, we use SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. If I go to the database, there are many forms of data. So if I don't understand the objective of my management, of the management team, if I go to this the database, I will not even know the particular data to extract for my data analysis. So with that, I will know the particular data that is needed for this analysis. Then I will extract it and run my analysis. Data cleaning, I'll still explain what I mean by data cleaning. Data cleaning, okay, let me talk about it now. You know, when you get raw data, as I said, raw data is naturally dirty. There is possibility, let me use the possibility, the kind of errors that you might experience when you are doing, and when you get a raw data, you can get data that have missing values. Let me say you pushed out data using what's it called, Google form. Some people might feel rubbish, so you have to clean it up. You might have a non-available data. Let me say this particular column, let me say you collected 1,000 rows, that's 1,000 rows. Let me use rows, I believe you know what rows and columns are. So you collected 1,000 rows, but this particular column have missing values, non-available data for like up to 600 rows. So you have only data, you have values on only 400 rows. It will affect your data analysis. So you have to clean it up. It's either you drop that column, depend on the level of relevance. It's when you start running the analysis, you know the particular thing to do, or you replace it with the mean or median of the row. Do you understand? Another thing that would make a data to be dated, let me say you collected a data, a country data. The people you sent it out to, they wrote USA. Some people wrote USA, some people wrote United States of America. Some people wrote Nigeria, some people wrote NGR. There is no consistency. So you're supposed to clean it up, choose the particular one to use, and replace values. Replace with the right one. If you are using USA three-letter code, you use it consistently for all the rows. Or let me say you collected data with SI units, and the data was supposed to be like, let me say, centimeter, whereas some people's zone was happened to be in meter. So there is need for conversion to have a consistent measurement. So these are some things you will do when you are cleaning up your data. Another thing is duplicates. You understand? Maybe someone filled the form and filled it again and again and again. So you'll be able to recognize duplicates and pick one and drop others. if I see, as the class goes on, if I remember any form of things that you do when you are cleaning up data, I would still talk about that. But these are the few I can remember for now. Then data exploration. When you've cleaned the data, you need to start getting insight from the data. Maybe when you start visualizing it, you start getting insight from the data. There is need for data transformation. That's when you start building your model. Normally a data supposed to follow a normal distribution, but let me not go that. That one is data science. We are still in normal data, so it will not really be cumbersome for people that are beginners. Data transformation, let me use another example that is general. Let me not go into statistical or that aspect. Let me say you collected the data that have unit sales, quantity. I'm talking about columns. One column have unit sales, one column has quantity, but there is no column with total sales. You don't need to go back and start again to start collecting data. What you need to do is to create a new column. Normally the unit price times quantity should give you the total sales, right? Yes, you just create a new column and do your normal mathematics and fill up that column. So these are little things you can do when you are transforming data or when you want to get a profit out of the column. But if you are doing data modeling, there are many types of data cleaning. You have to scale your data so that they would follow a normal distribution. You have to check for the data types if they are following. Okay, even in this one, you have to check for data types. So let me say you collected the data that that has dates. Let me say order dates. They ordered the dates that people ordered. But from when you are running the analysis, when you put it on the platform that you're using for your data analysis or the software you're using for your data analysis, you notice that the data type of that date is carrying text or a string, being that there will be column or backward slash or forward slash to represent the date. The computer might see it as a string because they are no longer thorough number. You need to change that data type to date data type. Do you understand? Change it to the right data type it's supposed to be. So you'll be able to get the necessary insight that you can get from that data. Because if it's a string data type, you can't extract year report from year, annual report from it. You can't extract monthly report from it. Neither can you extract quarterly report or daily report from it because it's not in data type. So all these things are what you need to check out for. Do you understand? Then the last but not the least, I'll share my screen now. We have sorry, let me open my Power BI screen and I'll share my screen. Olusegun, you are raising your hand. Go on. I hope I'm even pronouncing your name well. Sorry if I murder your name.
The name is Oluwaseun. Yes, you are right. I have no question. I think it was the previous one.
But you're raising your hand.
It's the
Right now,
previous one.
raise down your
Yeah, I
hand.
have none. Okay.
Can people see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So with this little introduction I did, I'll use the remaining 37 minutes. I'll be ending the class by after 12. I'll use the remaining few minutes to talk about Power BI. I'll try as much as possible not to go into practical because most of us here have not downloaded Power BI. And I repeat, before next week Saturday, please download Microsoft Power BI desktop for this class. Then when we are done with this one, you can now download my SQL when we start dealing with data exploration. So Microsoft Power BI desktop, you can search for it on Google if you are using Windows, you can just go to this place. I don't know if you can see my cursor and type Microsoft. What they call it again? I've forgotten. At least Microsoft something something. But there you will see anything that is related to Microsoft or the Microsoft Store. You click Microsoft Store, then from there you search for Microsoft Power BI. You download it from there, or you go through Google and download your Microsoft Power BI desktop. Okay, we are good to go. Let me go on. I know most of us have been hearing Power BI, Power BI, Power BI, Power BI. Yes, it's not really, I don't think it's a new name to anybody see. So what is Power BI? Sorry, before I go on, is there any question? Sorry, Bele. Let me ask before I go into a new phase. Is there any question? Miss Bamidele, Joseph, Ogechi. Any question from the little explanation I gave? I need your response.
I don't have any question. I'm good with you.
Okay. I just want to be sure that we are together. Okay, let me share my screen again. So what is Power BI? Power BI is generally a data visualization and business intelligence platform. Let me read out what I might not really be reading everything one after the other. So whenever I open a slide, try and read through, because I might not really be following it one after the other. So Power BI is more like a collection of different data sources. So you can import data from different data sources, be it Excel, be it CSV, be it web, even if the data is on web, be it even if it's cloud-based, if it's on Azure, you can import it from Azure. You can import from, when we enter into the environment, you will see that it has hundreds of data sources that you can import. What do I mean by data sources? I know some people might not really know what data sources is. Just like the name implies, the sources of your data, where your data is being sourced out from, where your data is being stored. So you can use the particular English that is favorable for you. So you can connect to different data sources to get into the environment of Power BI. So it helps you to do your data visualization, and it helps you for your business intelligence analytics. What do I mean by business intelligence analysis? It's more like a data analysis. It's more like data analytics. Cleaning your data, just like the processes I talked about. Do you understand? But business intelligence is more like talking about business. The environment, the particular data you are getting is more like business based. That's just it. Inside Power BI, there are 4 different products of Power BI. Remember what I told you to download is Power BI Desktop. Take note of the desktop. I didn't say you should just go and download Power BI. I said Power BI Desktop. So there are 4 different products of Power BI. There is Power BI Desktop, there is Power BI Service, there is Power BI Report Server, and there's Power BI Mobile. I repeat, there's Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, Power BI Report Server, and there's Power BI Mobile. So, what do we do with Power BI Desktop? Power BI Desktop is like the basic of Power BI, because most of the things that you do with Power BI starts from Power BI Desktop, and that's where you build your reports. That's where you build your visuals. That's where you do your analysis. Do you understand? You do your visual analysis, you do your business intelligence analysis, you do your visualization in Power BI Desktop. So when you've done your reporting, when you are done with building your reports, I'll still explain what I mean by building reports. Building reports is just more like building visuals. building is more like combination of building visuals and building and doing a business intelligence analytics. So when you have finished building, there is need for you to publish. That's when you want other people to see it. Let me say you are working with team of data analysts. There is need for collaboration. Like now that most people, someone like me, I work from home, though I go to office when I want. So if I have a teammate that the person lives here, this person lives here, there is need for collaboration. So we can meet in Power BI service. So Power BI is cloud-based. Power BI service is cloud-based. That's where you push in what the report you have built. And when you push it in, you can link it with so person. The person will be able to see, just like GitHub. I don't know if any of us are into software development. It's more for collaboration. The person can input chip in his own input on that report, and you will see what the person have done. So that's where you do you publish, number one. That's where you share your report and dashboard. You cannot build a dashboard with Power BI desktop. You can only build a report with Power BI desktop. You build dashboard with Power BI service. Then which one again? We have Power BI report server. Power BI report server is the same thing with Power BI service. Just like Power BI service is cloud-based, while Power BI report server is on-prem. On-prem means on premises, just like the name implies. On premises, like the thing functions where you are. There is a circumference or a location limitation. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology. It's on premises. So whenever you want to use it, you have to be at the environment. But cloud-based, you can access it wherever you are using the right credentials. So that's just the difference between Power BI service and Power BI report server. Then there's Power BI mobile. Power BI mobile is just for you to visualize what you have published. And remember, you cannot publish if you've not built a report. So you can see how both all of them work hand in hand. A Power BI mobile cannot function if Power BI desktop and Power BI service have not functioned. So Power BI mobile depends on the functionalities of Power BI service and Power BI mobile. And Power BI desktop. Are we clear? Any question on the differences?
Yes, I have a question.
Sorry, before you go on, if you have a question, please, I would advise you ask. If I start sharing my screen, I will just be seeing this slide. I will not be seeing where you're raising your hand.
Yes, I have a question.
Go on.
Now, you've clearly given us the differences in these four types of major different Power BI products. Now, this Power BI report server that you said is on premises, you said you have to physically be on the premises before you can use it, or it's something that has to do with us the networking? Because you said you're working from your house. And that was the first question. Secondly, is it possible for the Power BI report server that is mounted on premises to also be linked with the the cloud base, which is Power BI service?
No.
The number two. Okay.
Power BI service is cloud-based. Most people don't really use Power BI report server because of the limitation. Do you understand? So Power BI service is cloud-based. That's where anybody, wherever you are, you can link there. Do you understand? And you can connect with your Power BI mobile and see and visualize. Power BI mobile, you cannot edit anything. You cannot, it's just for you to look. You understand? It's not editable with Power BI mobile. All of them are Power BI package, or let me call it Power BI software. I don't know. Did I answer your question, Safe?
Yes, you answered. Because what I'm asking,
Mm,
Recently, my organization requested for SAP,
mm,
SAP software,
mm.
ANA version, and the person that I was the one that was intermediating between the SAP, the person that want to deliver the SAP from Lagos to my university here, and the person was talking about on-premise mounting. That one is the cloud is even more expensive. I was not trying to differ. It was not trying to explain the differences between having a SAP EPI on premise mounted in your university or using the one for cloud. They was talking about which one based on security wise that you have to have more experts, people that will protect one that have to do with on server what is it called, on the
On-prem.
cloud has to our cloud has to have more security experts controlling it than the one you mount on premises. But on premises have their own limitation. That is why I was about a bit confused, and that's why I asked
Okay, that would
the
lead me
question.
to
Yes.
talk about a little bit of cloud computing. Do you understand? I don't know. Let me just chip in a little bit because you can't be talking about on-premise if you don't have an idea of what cloud computing is all about. Cloud computing, just like the name implies, your server is on the cloud. Your data center is on the cloud. It's being managed on the cloud. So we have three major cloud computing services for now. The ones I know about, there is Azure. Azure is Microsoft that has it. There is AWS, that's Amazon, and there is GCP, that's Google Cloud Platform. So these ones are the three cloud computing I know. Yes, cloud computing is kind of um, expensive because number one, you're not going to be paying in naira. So as dollar is increasing, your pay is increasing. And another thing is that cloud gives you, let me call it an advantage, gives you an opportunity to pay as you earn, pay as you use. Do you understand? So I think both of them has its advantage. This person's advantage is the other person's disadvantage. This person's disadvantage is the other person's advantage. That's just the summary of cloud. Cloud is that your data center is on the cloud. You're not seeing it. They are being controlled by those CSPs, that's cloud service providers. They're being managed by them, then you are paying. It has security in the sense that we are in a country where we don't even know what tomorrow holds for us. Do you understand? Let's be real. We can wake up next morning, they will tell us that this place, that demolishing this place and anything. So if you have cloud, your database or whatever you have on the cloud is secured. Even out fire, this thing is secured. And another thing is that those people that have CSP, they don't save your data in one location. They can save one data in like how many data centers in case of all these unknown circumstances. So I think it has more security than on-prem. On-prem is that your server is on the environment, your data center is on the environment. There will be 24/7 lights because if there is out fire light electricity outage or whatever, it will affect the movement of your data. And another thing, there is what do they call it in technology again? I've forgotten. I believe this little point at least will give you an understanding what cloud and the on-prem computing is all
Yes,
about.
yes, yes. You have clarified it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next question, please. I think
Yeah,
someone
I wanted to ask that when you said we can only build dashboard with Power BI
service.
service. So and you said we should download Power BI desktop. So
Yeah.
does that mean we cannot create dashboards on Power BI? No, this is coming from me. I've been using Tableau before to create dashboards. So I just want to understand how the I've seen people do dashboards on Power BI, like a snapshot of what they have done. So I just want to ask, what's the difference between the report I'll be generating from Power BI desktop and a dashboard from Power BI service?
Okay. This thing is difference in definition. Yeah, I'll call it difference in definition. For Tableau, I started learning data visualization with Tableau before I went into Power BI. For Tableau, you will build the is it called story from story you will get dashboard, right? Some a
Yeah, and
group of story make a dashboard and a group of dashboard make a story. Remember?
actually, you go from sheet to dashboard, from dashboard to story.
Okay. This is how they built the architecture of their platform. So a dashboard, a Tableau might be the same thing with a report in Power BI. When I start explaining Power BI, I would explain what I mean by report and dashboard. So I think is how they built the if I bite my tongue, the architecture of their software. Do you understand? So what I mean by Power BI service, Power BI service is not that you are going to download another software. No, from Power BI desktop, you can move into Power BI service. Okay, let me try and open the platform. Okay, this is how the environment looks like. If you download it before you open it, this is what you will get. Then I'll close up the yellow one and get this one. So this is what Power BI desktop platform use. I'm running faster now, but to answer your question, a dashboard. I'm talking about Power BI now. A dashboard can be extracted from reports. Do you understand? So a report can have different pages, can have more than one page. Like this are the environment of a report. I can have page one, have page two, and whatever page I'm having. So if if I'm running a manufacturing data set, I can have customer analysis here, product analysis here, price analysis here. So all the visuals that I'll be extracting here would be based on the particular name I'm giving it to. But now a dashboard is you are going as in a dashboard is going to be meeting directly the need of the objective. So from those reports that you have built, you can extract a particular visual that meets to the particular objective and put it as a dashboard. So you can extract, let me say you report, the report you built, it has like 12 20 visuals. Do you understand? Then the dashboard you want to build from those 20 visuals, like 5 visuals from it will meet the need of the objective of your analysis. So you extract them from those reports and use it and build your dashboard. Report can be more than one page, but a dashboard must be one page. It cannot be more than one page. Another illustration that I would use now for Power BI. Let me say you are walking by a showroom. Sorry, I normally use like real life illustration to explain myself. You are walking beside the showroom. Let me say boutique. Boutique will always have a glass showroom. Then you're walking beside it. They showcase beautiful materials from that you would see it directly from outside. But that doesn't mean that it's only those ones that you're seeing from outside that they have inside. They will always showcase the best of the best to attract customers to come in, right? Yes. Now, those ones that are showcasing the best of the best are your dashboard. When you now come inside the showroom, you will see other products that they have. So other products are your reports. I don't know. I've used the best illustration I can use. So when you are running an analysis, you are just extracting any important insight that you can get. You are just extracting them and you are dropping, clicking and dropping, clicking and dropping. Then when you want to go into visual, into dashboard must meet the direct need of the objective. So should in case your stakeholders just want one report, you just give them that your dashboard, which will meet the need of their objective. But that doesn't mean you should restrict yourself from getting other insights. That's why there is availability for reports. Maybe they just want you to do a descriptive analysis. From your descriptive visuals that you are getting other insight that would answer the, like, let me say, you are getting diagnostic analytics. Do you understand? What they need is something, just they want to have an understanding of what is happening. But from the analysis you are running, you got an insight that has to do with how they would avoid this. This is giving answer to this. I don't know. That's where your report comes in play. So after doing their dashboard, you can chip in that from the analysis, this is what you got, that as in this is the reason why this is going this is the reason why the trend of the sales is going down or going up. But the analysis they want you to analyze, they just want you to know, to give them an overview how their sales are going, whether it's going up or going down. But then when you are running the analysis, you realize, okay, this is why this thing, there is a dip in Bitcoin. And there is, do you understand? I don't know. When we start doing the practical proper, I think you would understand what I'm trying to say, and that might actually answer your question correctly. From my explanation, at
Thank you,
least
man.
get something out of what I've explained.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. So I've explained the four major products that we have in Power BI. So let's go on into the parts. Stages of BI. You know, this Power BI, the BI means business intelligence. So Power BI is a BI platform. So stages of building a BI solution. You get the raw data, you transform it, you model it. But for Power BI, what they mean by data modeling is building relationships. Even in real sense, building the data modeling is building relationship. That's to say, you cannot analyze data that is not related. You cannot analyze data that is talking about flowers in the bush. Then you merge it with employee data. They're not really correlating, kind of. So they have to be related. Like if you're running an employee analysis, it has to do with demography of the employee, department data, the department they are, salary data, location data. So everything you're pushing is pointing to an entity, is pointing to your employee. Do you understand? Flower in the bush might not really point to your employee, so it's not related. That's why I said that data should be related to an entity. So this picture, I don't know if you perceive the movement of my cursor. It explains more of what I just explained when I was talking about the major, what do I call it? Sorry, what do I call it again? The products of Power BI. You have hundreds of data. Sorry. You have hundreds of data here. You have hundreds of data, and I'm coming. Let me off my WhatsApp so my this thing will stop showing. You have hundreds of data sources here. This one, whenever you see this sign, it means cloud. This one is cloud-based, different cloud service provider that you are using. Let me say your data is on your SQL, that's your relational database management system. This one represents Excel or CSV. So any form of data sources that you have, you connect it to, you import it into your Power BI desktop. I see the arrow, you import it into your Power BI desktop. Then from a Power BI desktop, you build reports. When you build your report, you publish it in Power BI service. When you publish it in Power BI service, you can still connect to your data, in the sense that if you add anything to your data, you will not need to go back again, build report, then publish. No. Once you have built it, you can connect it to your data, in the sense that when you add something, let me say the data you ran, the analysis, the visualization you ran ended in 2021, and now you are updating the data with 2022 data. You will not need to go back here again and start again. As you are updating, this report is automatically, and as in going as in is automatically increasing to what you are adding. Or maybe you deleted particular year, this data will, as in the reports here or the dashboard here, will be interactive to whatever is happening to the data source. Do you understand? So that's where this arrow comes in place. So this Power BI gateway is for more like a security base. Before you get access to Power BI service, you need to have a credentials. That reminds me. Normally, whenever you want to access anything that is cloud-based, just like your Gmail, your email account is cloud-based, you have to have a credential. That's either your email and password or whatever credentials that are using, either they're using two authentication method or whatever. So that's what here means. And this place is where Microsoft gain their money. Power BI desktop is open source. You don't need to pay for license to get it. But Power BI service is not really an open source, in quotes. Please, in quotes. In the sense that if you want to expand the user, I think they hire the user, they hire the license subscription that you pay. Do you understand? That is how they do their monetary whatever. And the more functionalities, the more payment. So the functionalities that you can explore in Power BI, it depends on the license or subscription level you are. The number of users that you can link to your projects, it depends on the amount of license or subscription that you did for it. And another thing, Power BI service, you can only access Power BI service only when you have a business account. But sorry, when you have a business email, something like domain-based email, or business or school or students or school email, just like photo something at photo.com, something at unilag.com, or something like at accessbank.com, something at firstbank.com. Do you understand? So it's going to be a domain-based email. You cannot use at gmail.com to access Power BI service. You cannot use at yahoo.com to access Power BI service. Neither can you use even your business.org to access Power BI service. Do you understand? Yeah. I said I'm not seeing you people raising hand up. Okay, Joseph, go on. Joseph, your hand is up. Joseph. Okay, let's go on. Please, hope you people know what raising up hand means.
Yes, yes, yes.
Go
Can
on.
I go on?
Yeah.
Using your company mail, is it going to be mandatory that you request an approval from the IT department?
To use your Google Mail, I don't understand.
No, company mail.
You can use your company mail if you have a company email. I don't think they don't I think it's for more security reasons. That's why they are only allowing what's it called? That's why they're allowing only domain based email,
Email.
because everybody can have Gmail account.
Okay.
So
The
I
reason I'm
think
asking is, ours is being monitored,
oh
and for everything you do, it is traceable to your username. Once you log in your username on the system, your mail is automatically active. So,
I don't know for that one though. It's, so I don't know for that one. So I but it's not sure. It depends on you and your organization. Let me not say something that will contradict your job, whatever.
thank you.
Mm.
I
Mr.
know.
Blessing, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
but yes, yeah, he's right. But in our own case, it's a different ballgame entirely. But what I want to explain is that if really you are using it for learning or you want to upskill yourself,
No,
I don't see any reason why your organization should frown at it. Like
in fact,
us, I recently request for Arrow Studio, which
yeah,
they gave to me. They now said, "Do I have an organization? Am I working on an organization?" I said, "Yes." How many users? I told them I'm teaching statistics, and I want to start using the Arrow Studio as one of my packages. I requested for it through my organizational email address, and they sent it to me. The approval, the license, and everything. I'm really sure if it's for upskilling, the organization should not be frowned at it because that may not give them access to anything in your organization, anybody, anything in your organization, just your email address.
yeah. So I'm not seeing it as something that should implicate you. It's more like an upskilling. So your organization should even be okay and happy that you are upskilling yourself. So I don't even think they will be sending email for you at all. So when you are filling the whatever, you can tell them, I don't want to be receiving mail for Power BI, whatever. So it's just for you to get access to that environment. But for now, what your focus should be on is building report, because that's the bedrock of all this. If you've not built report, you can't go into some what's it called, Power BI service. Okay, let's go on. So when you've done that, access, you see, access goes from Power BI service. There's no arrow telling you that you can have access from your Power BI desktop to. So it's when it's on cloud, you can access it with your tablet, your phone, or even your laptop. You can easily just log in into the environment and have access to whatever you want to see, but you cannot edit if you're using mobile, Power BI mobile. Mm, okay, this is the environment. Okay, let me open my own and use it and explain the environment. By next week, I will share a data set with you people. We'll first do a data cleaning. After cleaning up the data, this data I cleaned up, I will share it with you people. After cleaning it up, then we'll work with data that is not really dirty. So we'll be able to just do data analysis direct. Then after that, I'll give you people a project, share data with you people, so you people will work with that and submit. Then with that, I will know if you've understood what I'm trying to say. So we'll go into the other one. Okay, this is the interface of Power BI desktop. So if you're using Power BI service, this is where you will log in, sign in. You see, if you sign in here, okay, let me sign in with my personal, no need, but if you can try it when you download. It even said sign in to enhance your collaboration and access organizational content. So this is where you can get into Power BI service. So now we are in Power BI desktop. Let me say you finish building your report, you want to go into Power BI service. That's why I say Power BI service, you are not downloading another software entirely. You just sign in here. From there, you get into another environment, which is Power BI service. Maybe before the end of the class, I'll talk a little bit about Power BI service so you have an understanding of what it is. But you only use it for publishing and for collaboration. If you don't have this mission in mind or this objective in mind, there's no need of going into the environment. Okay, this is the interface. One good thing about this I don't know why Microsoft used to do it most times with their platforms, because I know I've used their cloud platform. I've used Azure to learn machine learning. I used Azure to learn machine learning. There's one internship I did. So the environment is very much user friendly. I would give it to their UI UX. It's very, the environment is always easy. I don't know if I'm the only person praising them, but most of their products are very much user friendly. So once you put your cursor on any of the two, it will give you an overview of what it does. Not clicking, no, once you put your cursor, it will give you an overview. I hope people are seeing it of what the thing do. Then these environments have three views. Power BI Desktop have three views. The first one is report view. That is the environment we are. This is where you build your report. We call here canvas. Okay, they even say this: select or draw fields pane on your report canvas. So this four square, this four, is it four square? Sorry. This square like be rectangular like this thing is called report canvas. This is where you build your reports. Then this is a report view. The second one is, oh, my data is still there. This is called data view. When you import data, so this data view is working a little bit like a data warehouse. When you import your data will be here. So this is where you can see what your data looks like, kind of, and know where to go from it from there. Then the third one is, I imported two sheets, so you can change at any time. Okay. The third one is model view or relationship view. This is where, assuming you are importing more than one table. When I say table, I mean rows and columns. When you are importing more than one table, or you are importing data from different data sources, not only one data sources. I said it should be related. I know I've talked about that. So this is where you build the relationship. As in, I want to build the relationship here. There is other dates here. So I want to tell the computer that this other date is the same other dates here. So this other date is the relationship that both of them have. I can build a relationship with them. I don't want to click anything because we are not really doing practical. So I've talked about three views: report view, data view, and the relationship view. Another thing to talk about is these three panels that is on report view. There is filter panel, there is visualization panel, and there is field panel. What do they do? Filter panel, just like name implies, it's used to filter data, in the sense that maybe the visual you dropped you want to visualize, let me say the top 10. Let me say you visualized sales based on sales by country, you understand? So maybe the data you visualize, you have up to, I don't really know how many countries do we even have in this planet. Do we have any geographical something? At least let me learn one thing from this class.
Approximately 194.
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, noted. So if I go to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now and they ask me, Abizina, who wants to be a billionaire? Is it still millionaire? Because Naira, no, 1 million no really get that value again. It
Who
should be.
is who wants to be a delegate near?
Don't mind me, on a lighter mood. So let me say you collected data that have up to 40 countries. Do you understand? And you collected the sales by country. And they are building a report. If you build it like this, I see the movement of my cursor. Like if I drop, let me know if one can drop. Okay. If I drop it like this, and drop another one. Let me drop another visual. I see how I'm building my reports. So it might line up like this. And if I have up to 40, I can be dropping all the visuals. Maybe this canvas might contain 12 visuals. Do you understand? So, and maybe I have 40 countries. The 40 countries will not show here now, Abby. It will be tiny. And you're not really using the 40 visuals. There is no really a direct insight that you want to get from 40 visuals. You knowing the top countries by sales and bottom countries by, last country, that bottom sounds somehow, and last countries by sales would give you a kind of insight you want to get, not necessarily having all the countries lined up there. Do you understand? So you can limit it that you want to see top countries by sales. Let me say top 5 countries by sales and last 5 countries by sales. Do you understand? So this is where you filter it up. Or maybe you just want to see countries in Africa. So that will be when I have a data here, I can filter it. You check, you mark those countries you want to see and unmark the countries you don't want to see, and it will be effective on the visual that you are highlighting. Do you understand? So this is what the filter play, the role is play, just like the name implies, filter. It filters everything out for you to get the direct thing you want to get. Then for this panel called visualization panel, this is where I thank God they use English that is very much understandable. You do your visualization. So you will have many visuals here. Yeah? If you want more visual, you click this dot, get more visual. You understand? So you get more visual. But for this beginning level, I don't know the kind of insight you want to get that you can't get it from here. Is when you start being an expert, more practice, and more, let me say you want to do a word cloud. Word cloud is using words to build an analysis. Like the one that have higher frequency will be bolder. The one that have tiny, as in the bold of, before I was speaking, I wanted to speak the boldness, the level or the, the more bold the word is, it means that it has more frequency. So the tinier it is, it means that it has lesser frequency. That's what I mean by word cloud. So if you want to do word cloud analysis, you can import the visual. So these visual here are the most frequent one, the ones people use, and you can connect to your R. From Mr. Blessing. So you can do data visualization with your R scripts. From there, from here you can connect to your R Studio. Do you understand? And do your visual from here. And you can connect from your Python. You understand? So this environment is very good. And another thing you can do here, it has this AI application where you can ask questions. Let me look for that visual. Q&A. Q&A is okay. Let me import my Q&A. Sorry, let me push it up here. This Q&A would ask necessary question. See the data I have here, I've not opened anyone. It will just give you likely question, likely insight that you can get from this your data. So once you click it, it will automatically build the visual for you. So it uses, I'll call it an AI technique. So there are other visuals here. When we start practical proper, you understand some visuals. Then for here, I call it templates. It's called value. So any visual you click, I'll still repeat this thing when we start practical proper. I know everything will be sounding like as if I'm speaking another language, but just flow with me. So I call this template. So any visual you click, it will give you its own template. So you see that bar chart templates will not be the same thing with card templates. Card template is not the same thing with donut chart or pie chart. Donut chart and pie chart, both of them should have the same template because they're twin brothers, just that one is fair, one is dark. You understand? So anyone, any visual you click, it will give you the template. Then with this template, you will populate it with the required column that you need to populate it. You understand? Like here, it has legend. As when you want to visualize a what's it called? Something that you want to be segmented by or categorized by legend, you can carry that visual. Though this one, let me carry this one. If you carry it, you drop here. Do you understand? It will build a legend for it. Are you seeing the legend it built? So populate it again with visual. Let me say the value you want it to be represented. Let me say that I want it to be represented with sales. Are you seeing it? And remember what I highlighted is pi. So it's populating. Don't worry, I'll still talk about that. I'm just using this example to explain the interface. Then the last but not least is field. When you import your data into this environment, the column names will be populated here. That's how you know that the data is now in your environment. As mean I don't have any data in my environment. Okay, let me open this one that I've not imported any data. Okay, there's no data. I've not imported any data here. Sorry, was opening. I've not imported any data here. I seen there is nothing here. There is no column name, neither is there any data name that is here. That's how it will look like when you, and if you look at here, I don't have any data here because there is no data in this environment. This is where I have data. So that's just the overview of this interface. It's past 12. So let me summarize. I wanted to say something. I wanted to go back to my PowerPoint presentation. So this is what I've explained this one, I've explained this one, I've explained this one. So that's just it. This is just what I explained. There is a tile. Example, this is a tile. This thing is a tile. One, like from this place now, I have 3 tiles. 1, 2, 3. That tiles. We call it tile. Then you call it also visuals. Like, should I call it a collection of tiles now make a report? That's what this thing I explained there means. Visualization, report, dashboard. I've explained the difference between report and dashboard. You know what data set is? Data set is collection of data. There is style. So this one is the summary of difference between dashboard and report. But if you actually got my point when I was explaining, that was just the direct explanation of the difference between dashboard and report. A report has one one or more page, but a dashboard has only 1 page. It cannot exceed 1 page. A dashboard has 1 or more reports and 1 or more data sets per dashboard, but a report has a single dashboard per report, a single data set per report. Do you understand? So like a dashboard, let me say you want to link it with another thing that is not related to data. There is space for you to do it in dashboard. I don't know, you can screenshot this difference in case if you still want to go through it. But what I explained is just the general difference between both of them. So what do you do when you want to clean data or when you want to transform data? You remove the empty rows and columns as case may be. You drop and choose the relevant columns. You rename the column names to the one that you understand. Let me say you collected the data that has first name, second name, and the database administrator use FN for it. You might not really know what FN mean when you start running the analysis. So there is space for you to rename it to first name or even F name or use a column name that is understandable. Don't use that doesn't mean you should come and write a full sentence as a column name. Then understand the data type. I've talked about it. Removing of errors, I've talked about it. Removing of duplicates, replacing of values, and so on. So these are basically what you do, some of the things you do when you start building a report. Oh God, I don't talk too much. Teachers, they try you. Oof. Someone is raising up now. Go
Yeah,
on.
it's me. I want to ask: is it what if you do your data cleaning or transformation outside the BI? Which one
And
should it
import and
should bet
import
and
images.
import? Yes. Which one should be better? Because sometimes you may be comfortable using an external source, like for instance Excel,
Hmm.
to do your transformation and cleaning,
You
and
are free to
later
clean up
you
anywhere
import.
you want. You can clean up
Okay.
wherever you want to clean up.
Okay.
Hmm. But the good thing about this Power BI is that it's very interactive in the sense as you are cleaning, it's affecting your what you are doing. So it depends on you. It depends on you that adjust it. So I talked about data sources. Yes, let me talk about. These are some data sources that you can extract your data from. Let me open all of them. Still opening. Why is it taking time? Okay. These are some of the data sources you can extract your data. There are many of them. I've not even used one quarter. So you can extract your data from these data sources. All these things are data sources and more that still add them more. Okay, so when you download it, you can look at it and understand it more. So back to my PowerPoint. I'm thirsty. So when you want to build report transform data in Power BI, there is a I should call I used to call it a machine. It's like a machine that is inside Power BI that helps you in transforming. It's called Power Query Editor. Power Query. I don't know if you are very conversant with Excel. Most of the things I'm saying you will understand it because it's still the same Microsoft that built my Power BI that built Excel. So Power BI, Excel is like both of them are related in one way or the other. Most people that know advanced Excel don't really bother going in learning Power BI desktop. That's the truth. If you know advanced Excel, you can achieve what you want to achieve with Power BI. Just that Power BI, I think from my experience, I think Power BI is user friendly and is easy and interactive. So there's Power Query Editor. I don't know. Did I talk about ETL? When I say ETL, ETL means extract, transform, and load. So it's either you use ETL method or you use ELT method. I personally I used to use ELT. ELT means extract, load, and transform. So Power Query is an ETL tool that you use to shape your data, clean your data, transform your data using intuitive interface without having to use code. So whenever you want to do data transformation, the tool that will do it for you in Power BI desktop is called Power Query Editor. When we start the practical proper, you understand. And the last but not the least is called DAX. What is DAX? DAX means data analysis expression. So DAX is like is a formula, kind of a formula, just like you saying that um which example should I use? Total sales. Oh, is it total sales that they wrote here? Just like you saying that total sales is equal to from this example, I have given such example is equal to unit sales times what's it called times quantity. So that formula could stand as a DAX. So that's just what DAX help you to pivot your table to the one that, as into the best of your knowledge, as into the best one that would provide the need of what you want to do in your analysis. I don't think I will talk much about DAX today. I've passed my time and I have something else I want to do by past 12. So with that, I think next week I will repeat this power query and DAX before we go into practical proper. So any question? Any question?
It was a well explained class, man. Thank you very much. I got what you said.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The class is instructive. I will really
Yes.
appreciate your time.
You're welcome. So next week we will start by 10. Please, we will not have to wait for next 20 minutes before we will start. When you value something, you give it your time, not minding that it's provided as a free something. You need to place value on it so that it will even encourage the people that are providing this thing for free and help to motivate the person that is even training. Do you understand? Please help
Yes.
help me to
Please,
help you.
please, are we going to be
Yes.
using this? Are we going to be using the same link we used to enter next week, or a new link will be provided?
When the time comes, if it's the same thing, they will still repeat it.
Okay, okay, no
Yeah, that's
problem.
what.
Okay.
Okay. You're welcome. Let's
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
have a nice weekend. Don't forget to
Yes.
download the platforms.
Okay.
Okay.
What about in MySQL? We should also do the download.
If you want to do it immediately, you can, but we are going to be using it after we are done with Power BI.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
no problem.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you much. What to
Well,
ask is Power BI. Hello.
yeah,
Is Power BI a freeware or you pay for the application or
that's
the
what
license?
I said. If you listen when I was explaining, I said Power BI desktop is an open source. Open source means that it's free. You can get it.
Oh,
It's
thank
when
you.
you want to use Power BI service that you might need
Sorry.
to pay for license and subscription.
Oh.
Mm. Okay, let's enjoy our day. Bye.
Bye.
The class have ended. People don't want to leave class. Eh? Oh, good. Do you have my supposed to?